Hello, Andrew. Thank you for taking the time today.
Very welcome, Sharif. Wonderful to be here.
Well, we'll start from the beginning. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us about your company, Manage Protect?
Certainly. I'm Andrew Johnson. I'm from Manage Protect. I'm the founder of the business, and we've been operating since 2008. Really, what we're about as an organization is we're about helping managed service providers. A lot of it is actually helping them deal with change. We've been working with MSPs since very much the early days of the MSP movement, and we found that these businesses, when we started working with them in 2008, it was a journey to becoming MSPs. So they were typically break fix. They wanted to become MSPs. So, and we understood the PSAs and the RMMs and the tools, and we realized there were gaps in what they were trying to deliver to their customers. One of the key gaps we initially helped these partners with was in the area of email filtering and security. So we started off delivering an anti-spam, antivirus product. But what we realized when we started talking to these partners about delivering these solutions, they were so busy working on their journey to become an MSP that they just desperately needed an organization who could hold their hand and basically say, look, we will sit down, we'll spend time understanding your business as a customer. We will get this solution working with your customers, being the end customers, small to medium businesses across Australia and New Zealand, and we will support you through this journey. Effectively, we really have become almost an extension, a specialized or specialist extension to the technical teams for a lot of these MSPs. And over time, we've really answered their further questions as they've gone through transitions going from on-premise Exchange to hosted Exchange, and then into Microsoft 365.
That's wonderful to hear. How did you evolve your backup offerings, and what made you decide to offer backup and archiving the solutions? I know you've heard it from the
Mm.
customers. What drove your final conviction that this is going to be an important need to be fulfilled?
Being the technologist, we were sitting there looking at it going, these are amazing solutions, but neither of them have any sort of backup, as in with Microsoft 365 or our hosted exchange product, which was backed through a company called Intermedia, which is the largest hosted exchange provider of the world outside of Microsoft. We realized that neither of them, if you delete something, a month goes by, it's gone. And we realized that working with small to medium businesses, their assumption has always been, since they started working with IT guys, has been, you will take care of my backups, right? You'll make sure that when I need something, I'll be able to get it. And there was an assumption in the market, I think, by these small to medium businesses that, oh, it'll just get taken care of because it's Microsoft. And we knew that that wasn't the case. So we started looking for solutions on the market. And our requirements for a solution are probably a little bit different from a typical consumer or enterprise requirements. There were products on the market at the time which basically you could go onto a website, put your credit card in, and it would start backing up your Microsoft 365 data and the mail and all those sort of things. But we sort of, when we started talking to some of these providers, what we realized is that they didn't have any sort of channel model. They didn't have any sort of idea of how to engage with MSPs, with resellers. They were basically had created a product you could just buy off the internet. And that wasn't going to make any sense for any of our partners. It wasn't, and we genuinely believe that by and large, small to medium businesses buy from their trusted advisor. So we had to find an organization which basically thought like we did. They understood MSPs, they understood the channel, they understood that to get distribution and reach and to actually solve this problem for small to medium businesses across the world, you had to work at multiple layers. It had to be a reseller portal, a distributor portal, that multi-layers of portal, and support and messaging and functionality and collateral. These are all the things that make up the complexity of a true channel product. And we were fortunate ultimately in finding that in Dropsuite. What the other products we saw in the market, I'm probably maybe jumping around a bit. Okay, so the other products we could see on the market, typically they were starting to come from backup providers, which had also a very different view to backup. They were companies which, or actually migration providers. One of the early players into the market was Skykick, and what we found is with these companies, they were looking at it very much from the perspective of okay, we're a migration company. What can we do with this data? Well, migrating is sort of like backing up. Well, why don't we just back up? But they didn't really understand the need in the market. And the backup providers were looking at it from, well, now we're backing up on premise. So this is data in the cloud. We'll just back that up somehow as well. And once again, they didn't really understand the SaaS model. So their billing models didn't fit. It was all annual. It fitted with some of their enterprise customers because enterprise typically transition their way of handling data and the way they handle licenses in a sort of similar form. But that is what small to medium business was consuming. The cloud is what small to medium businesses want to use, and it's what MSPs wanted to deliver. And we found very few companies in the market who genuinely understood the need of the customer, but also understood the channel, understood cloud. There's very few born in the cloud solutions for cloud backup of not only Microsoft 365, but also with a vision of, okay, these are businesses that has lots and more increasing the amount of data that is in the cloud. And that's one of the things we've really enjoyed about the journey with Dropsuite. Their like-mindedness of actually, I suppose it's perspective and like-mindedness. They see the world in the same way that we see the world. And this is born from us spending over a decade working with small to medium businesses and MSPs. The guys at Dropsuite, they see the world in a similar way.
Andrew, this was a phenomenal explanation of your journey and our journey together. I also realize how busy you are, so I'm going to end our short interview/conversation today, and I want to thank you once again for taking the time today.
You're very welcome.